Okay, Rabbi say in last week's parasha we saw that we read psukim that talk about the Milchama, and you didn't go out to Milchama. What is the halacha? Parasha Shoftim read like this: Kiseiti l'Milchama le'vecha. When you go out to war on your enemy, v're'isa sus v'rechev am rab mimcha, you'll see horses and chariots and many more people than you. V'sinim mehem, you should not be afraid of them. Ki Hashem aleikecha imach, Hashem is with you. Hamalucha meretz Yitzrayim. Pasuk beis v'hayik k'karachal Milchama. When it comes close to the war scene, Menigash HaKoyim v'divalam, the Koyim will stand up. A special Koyim will stand up and speak to the nation. V'amar leim, he tells them, Shema Yisrael, hear Yid Natam Karev Mayim Milchama Aveichem. You are coming close today to war on your enemy. Al Yedach Levavchem. Don't be afraid. Al Tidu V'al Tachas V'al Tartz V'pneim. Don't be afraid whatsoever. Don't be broken before them. Ki Hashem Aleikeichem Hahoilich Yimachim Yilachem Lechem Meveichem Mashiachim. Hashem is with you. He's fighting with you to save you.
They didn't have the Umim V'tumim to ask you to go to the war or not to war, not to. At that time they didn't have it, so the Kohen had to speak to them.
Oh, but they're still afraid. They have to be told you can't be afraid. This is also, by the way, for all future generations. This is not only for now. This is not about a war now. It's about a mitzvah for all the days. For today, for tomorrow, for every day, every generation. Today, when the Yidden go to Milchama, they have to know, Yedach Levavchem Al Tidu. This is a mitzvah. Anytime there's going to be a melech, we're going to have Eretz Yisrael, even when there's no Orim B'tumim. This is the halacha. V'dibra ha-shoytrim ala'am. Until now was the Kohen speaking. And then the shoytrim get up and they speak to the nation, saying, Mi ha'isha shabana b'ayis chodesh ha'chanocha yelchi yashav beisei. V'yamaz b'machama acher yach necheno. Someone who built a new house, but he didn't yet dedicate it. He didn't make a chanukah sabayis. He should go back because maybe he will pass away in the war and someone else will have the house. And that's something sad. Mi ha'isha shanata kerem. Someone who planted a vineyard with a chiloi. He didn't have a chance to wait to the 4th year to bring up the fruits to Yerushalayim. Yelich v'yashal abeisei yipen yamas v'machama yishachi yichalenu, and someone else will do it, will machal the kerem for him. Third pasuk, mi ha'isha she'edas isha, someone who made an erusin. He betrothed the woman, leila kacha, but he didn't yet have the stage in the suan, didn't yet take her into his household. Yelich v'yashal abeisei yipen yamas v'machama, maybe he will pass away in the war, and someone else will take her. Then the Shaitim continue talking to the nation. They say, anyone who is afraid of war should go home. Don't be afraid and go to war, and then you'll make other people scared. When the Shaitim finished speaking to the nation, the officers set up, went into the front of the nation, and they started to go.
It's showing
this
all this is showing how Hashem, how the Torah is so good for the human being. They're worried about everything.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, Parashas Kiseitze, what we're going to read a little bit later on this week's parasha. Now already we're not talking about Eres Isha. Last week's parasha we spoke Pasuk Zayin Mia Ish Asher Eres Isha Lekacha. He did Eresin, but not Nesuin. Over here it's Kiyikach Ish Isha Chadasha. He actually married his new wife. Lo Yetze Batzav Ishineka to war. V'lo Yarel of L'chol Davar. He shouldn't do anything for the war, help out in the war. Naki the Lebeisai, he should be available for his household. Shonoh Echas, a full year. V'simach is Isha Laka, he should make his wife happy, the wife that he took. Now remember, there's a process in Torah, marriage has two processes called Erusin and Nesuin. Erusin is also called Kiddushin. Kiddushin, Erusin is by where the man acquires his wife. He does a kinyan, either Kesef, or Shtar, or Bia. and then she is no longer allowed to marry anyone else.
We're learning with your brother first thing.
Oh, very good. Now, Lamaisa, after they do that process, she goes home and he goes home. They had a party, she goes home, he goes home, and they each get ready for the wedding now. They get ready for the Nisuim, for the Chasana. So, what is the Chasana? The Chasana Nisuim is when when they actually start to live together. Permanent form. He takes her into his household. They go open up, have their own home. But until now, she's living by her father. That's as long as they decide. As long as they decide. Today's days, we don't do this anymore. We do it all. We do both, but we do them both in one shot. We do the both underneath the chuppah. We do both. We first do kesef. He gives her the ring. He says Harayat Mekadeshesli. That's the kiddush and the erusin. Then later on, we read the 7 brachas. The brachas, which actually is the brachas of the Nisuin, and they go into the Yichud room. That's all the brachas Nisuin and the Yichud room is part and parcel of the Nisuin process. In the middle, we read the Kesupah. We give someone the honor to read the Kesupah. The reason why someone reads it is not because it needs to be read. No one who needs to read it. Everyone needs to know. It's a private contract between the husband and wife. Why does everyone need to read it?
Why do they read it?
Because to make a separation, a hefsek, Toysis explains, between the process of Eris and Kedusha and Nisuin. So anyway, so we see the last week's parasha, we said someone had an Erusin, but no Nisuin yet, should leave and go home. This week's parasha we read, if you already had the Nisuin, he should go home and be a year. Only after a year can you go to war.
Today it says Shonoh Rishonah.
Shonoh Rishonah.
That's what I meant.
That's what it means, Shonoh Rishonah. Shonoh Echad, that's the lashon of the pasuk. Now, the Rambam brings these things to halacha. Let's take a look at the Rambam. The Rambam says the Hilchos Malachim Perek Zayin. Mistake, not supposed to be Yud Zayin, Perek Zayin. Achas Mechamas Mitzvah, Echem Mechamas Mitzvah, Echem Mechamas Rishos. Whether it's a Mechamas for Mitzvah, the Mechamas Rishos means you don't have. It's no mitzvah to go to war, but you're allowed to go to war. Let's say you need more land. Sorry to Yisrael, the king could decide with Sanhedrin that they want to conquer more land. It's not a mitzvah. Mitzvah is when Hashem commanded you to do it. You're protecting yourself from your enemies, or Hashem commanded you. But in both situations, we appoint a kohen to speak to the nation. That kohen is anointed with a special oil, like kings are anointed, and the kohen gadol is anointed. He has the term Meshuach Mulchama. He was anointed, the anointed kohen for the war. He's a holier status than a regular kohen.
Not kohen gadol.
He's not a kohen gadol, but he has a higher status. The kohen Meshuach Mulchama is a much higher status. Halacha beis. Shtei pa'amim medar Meshuach Mulchama la'am. There are 2 times when the Meshuach Mulchama, that kohen, speaks to the nation. Achas b'sfar, one by the border. Be'esh yoitzin kohen misharach Mulchama. Right before they leave the border, Omer, he says, La'am, mi ha'isha nata kel mechil loy v'goyim. He says all those psukim that we read. Kishiyishma dvarim, when they hear his words, Yachsam ha'ilchum ha'chama. Those people will all return back from the war. The people that had a man who made a kerem, but he didn't mechal the perisia in the 4th year, or he made an eris isha, but he didn't make an isuin loy l'kacha. Then the Achaz Baruch Muhammad, second time he speaks, the pasuk, it's not so clear. The Rambam explains it's 2 times. The second time he speaks, Baruch Muhammad, they're actually setting up to battle. Not when they're on the way by the border. Then he tells them all, don't be afraid. Now everyone else went home already. Now all the people are here are the soldiers that are going to war. Now he talks to them about not being afraid and being strong.
Because they saw all the people going back, so they might be, worried and this.
Halacha Gimel. Now he goes into specifics. At that time, when they're setting up the battlefield, they encravim la mulchama, nilachim, meshuach mulchama oimim bakum gvai. He stands up on a very high spot. V'chol marachas lafanav, and all the troops, platoons, are before him. V'oimim lo lashon hakodesh. He says a lashon kodesh. Shema Yisrael atem kevim yimel lochal mevechem v'yel chalavcha atilu b'tachzot atarz m'feim v'shem v'kechem v'yelchem b'achem v'lachem v'lachem mevechem v'shiaschem. Ad kan oimim mishum mechama. All these psukim, by not being afraid, that we read before in Parashat Shoftim, that's what the Meshuach Mulchama tells them. However, another kohen announces it very loud. Make sure everyone hears it.
They didn't have microphone.
No microphones. Then the Meshul Muhammad continues to speak. He says, Mi ha'isha bana bayis chodesh mi ha'isha shat l'ken mi ha'isha aretz ad kama shom chol medaber v'shoit yishmil chol koilon. Now he speaks this, but the shoiter, the policeman, speaks it out very loudly. Miyachakach medaber ha'shoiter ma'atzboi, then the shoiter on his own speaks, v'oimer mi ha'isha yarech l'veva v'shoit me'echem ha'shmil chol. Now, after everyone left who was supposed to leave and not go to war, they set up all the soldiers once again. A lot of people just left. They put the officers in the front, the generals. To put very strong and tough soldiers right behind them, and they have within them spears or something in their hands. Anyone who tries to run back, they have the reshus to cut off his leg. The beginning of war, the beginning of falling in war is running away. So you have to be strong. When do you make all these people go back home? Even a chassan and kala have to go. It's the mechemes mitzvah. Now we're going to skip a few halachas to halacha tes Yud Yud Aleph. All these people we mentioned above, when they go back, even though they're not in the actual fighting, they still have to help out. They have to still be part of the army. They provide water and food for their brothers who are in the army, and they fix up the roads to make it easier to pass by. So they don't actually do the fighting. However, halacha yud we learn, Eilu shin yoytzin la'or chamachama kol ikar. That was all Parshas Shoftim, but in Parshas Kiseitze we had the pasuk that we read before. Hey, ki yikach ishisha chadasha, when an actual man made an nisuin completed the marriage, not only does he not go to war, the Yetzav Atzava, the pasuk said lo yaver ol l'chol davar. He shouldn't do anything. Naki ilabeisa, he should totally be free to his household. So he's not even supposed to be providing water and food to everyone else. That's what the Rambam brings out halacha yud. These are the list of the people who don't at all go out. You don't bother them for anything. Someone who built his house and he actually dedicated it. Either he made a nisuin or he did yibum. But he was mechalal his karam already. And yoytzin atoyim shana till the ending of the year. You stay home. Shemanaki lebeis shanachasim masisha lokach. Mepia Kabbalah, from tradition we learn out. Lamdu sheyem mitnaki shonoh. Bein lebai shakana, bein leisha shanasa, bein lekem sheiz chalacha period. So there are two stages. There's people that are in the middle of the process. They bought a kerem. They planted a kerem, a vineyard, but they didn't get mechalet in the fourth year, bring the fruits to Yerushalayim. They weren't able to eat it. It was arla for the first 3 years. There's someone who made an erusin and didn't make a nisuin, and there's another person who built a house but he didn't get dedicated. All those three who are in the middle of the process, in a chanami they don't fight, but they still have to help out. On the other hand, if they all went to the next stage, that he actually fully married, he made the nisuin, but he's in the Shonoh Rishonah, or he actually dedicated his house, so he just now entered his house, his new house, or actually planted the vineyard, he was mechalet in the fourth year. Those three don't go at all, have nothing at all to do with the war. L'maisa, the pasuk itself only says in Parashat Kiseitz, it only mentioned nisuin, kikech ish ish chadasha. But we learn out from there, naki yilabeisoi, the Pia Kabbalah from the Messiah, we learn out that it includes the other two, that if someone actually was mechanech his keren, and he actually was mechala his keren, or he's mechanech his bais, those two also don't get involved in the war at all. Kol Hashana, last halacha, Kol Shonoh Misapik my mother an entire year. He does not provide water or food. Like Misakin Derech does not fix up the roads. Like Shem Lechoime, he cannot be a soldier, a guard. Like Noitzim Lepasi a year. Liyavel Shum Davar Ba'olam Shem Leyetzav Atzava Liyavel L'chol Davar. Why does it say it twice? Leyetzav Atzava Liyavel L'chol Davar. Laver B'Shnei Lavin. He transgressed 2 Lavin. Loy L'tzarchei Ir. Loy L'tzarchei Hegdon. Now, before we go further, I want to tell you this halacha is negay in Eretz Yisrael. When people are drafted into the army, so if someone is a Shonoh Rishonah, he has an issue. And even if we don't have the process today of separating the suin, Eris and the suin. But I one time met someone, here in New York, and he told me he's getting married soon. He has this problem. He became frum. He's a Balchova, and he's in a combat unit. He's in a combat unit, so they're giving him 4 months off because he's getting married, but he really needs a full year off. So he says it could be he'll go into the combat unit, Lepoil, there won't be anything, so he won't have to fight. But it's an issue. So he's telling me he's calling the Rabbanim. How's he going to deal with this?
There was few in the
mitzvah min Torah.
There was few.
If it's a Milchames mitzvah, the emes is. If it's a Milchames mitzvah, so he also has to go.
The last one in Gaza.
Right.
There was few soldiers died. They were in Shonoh Rishonah.
Over there, you could tell that is a Milchames mitzvah.
They
He have to go.
Serious.
It's a serious. They were pagdim.
Now,
One of them is 2 weeks after the Chassan died.
I want to take a look at something very interesting. The tshuva of the Radvaz.
Didn't have off.
There is a tshuva of the Radvaz. The Radvaz, Rabbeinu David ben Zimra, was a big Rav in Mitzrayim. And second page. In the times of the Beis Yosef, we're talking around 450 years ago. The Dvas writes, has a shay like this. Sha'alti meni, you asked me. Udi acha daiti, I should let you know my opinion. B'chasen b'derech shnasei. Echasen the first year, Shonoh Rishonah. In Mutter lots is b'schoil dun acheres. Can you go on a business trip? He's not going to the army. He's going on a business trip. Eloi. Lefi she'ri'isa machmirim b'zeh. You saw certain people are machmir. That Shonoh Rishonah, they don't go on business trips to other countries. In Meish Lachush, is there what to be concerned? So meanwhile, we learned the Rambam, we never heard anything about business trips. You're not allowed to go to the war. Not only are you not allowed to go to the war, if you get married, you're not allowed to even help out the war. But what about business trips? We didn't hear anything. So it says that Advash Tshuva. Miloshan Gemara Perek Meshuf Muhammad. The halachas that we learned to the Rambam are based on the Gemara on Perek Meshuf Muhammad in Soita. Mashma the Lav the Liyetz Tzava Asay the Naki the Beis Shanachas the Ariel Shliyetz the Muhammad the Sapa Tzarchal Muhammad Kasher Oisim Haish Hayari V'Achalevav. In the Gemara in Perek Meshuf Muhammad Smash of the Loisasev Liyetz Tzava and the essay the mitzvah essay Naki Levesai only have to do with war. They don't go to war and they don't provide the needs of the war that like others do, like those that are afraid of war. They don't go actually to the war front, but they actually help out. Chasim pata mikol zeh. Chasim pata from all of the above. They shouldn't go to business because he needs money. He wants to earn money. Where is that included? What happens after Advaz? What happens if he only has this job business? This is his business. He has to go travel around to make business. This is his parnasa. Yamas barav. Should he chas v'shalom pass away in hunger? Ayish al psachim, or should he gonna have to go door to door begging for money? How can you stop him from going on a business trip? If you're gonna go tell me that, listen, the Torah is telling you that you're not allowed to go out to business trips if you're rich for extra money. But if you're poor, you could go out. Where does it say that in the Torah? You can't start making these differentiations. Halav, the lois in the Torah, lo yischal b'nim does not make a differentiation between niyim and ashir. V'chein, he brings the lashon asmag, not only the Gemara, the lashon, the Sefer Mitzvahs Gadol, one of the Rishonim, says lo yetzi latzava klal v'liyavelim shum oil ma'atzava l'sapel mayim v'model l'sakin drachim. Chein kasim mitzvah essay. Harei shali hiskir v'chalal mitzvah shali yetze v'schayra. Shali yetze me'echa min advarim shekayvus ram lotzis. When you do lotzis, how people will say? The Smag doesn't mention anything about going to business. He just is not allowed to force him to go to any of the communal issues. Going to help out the Kehillah this time. And if he does, he's already brought on a mitzvah's essay and a mitzvah's loisase. A loisase liyetze batzava, and a mitzvah's essay, not Kehillah veisei. Simach esishtei. Chein kasar Rambam zechon levracha behilchas malach in Perek Zayin. The Rambam writes also, we just read the Rambam, v'zel l'shoini, ein matzbik mayim amazon, v'loi mesakin derech, v'loi shomer b'choyma. You're not allowed to
do sidewalk.
To do anything. V'loi shomer b'choyma, v'loi sil pasi, v'loi yal shum davar ba'olam, shem v'loi yitzim tzav, v'loi yavel l'chol davar, v'loi v'loi shem lavin, v'loi tzei chiv, v'loi tzei at kan l'oshan Rambam. He doesn't mention anything about business. It's a big chiddush. A very big chiddush. The Rambam should have mentioned that. Now, up until now, basically their advisor is saying, I don't see any room for this chumrah. You're telling me you see certain people are machmer, Shonoh Rishonah, they don't leave at all. They don't go out on any business trips. So I don't see any reason for it. From the Gemara, it doesn't seem to be that way. From the Smag, it doesn't seem to be. Not from the Rambam. After now he says where he thinks these machmirim came from and how he thinks it's a wrong source. The after possibly shehitis machmirim lashon haravzal will say her mitzvahs. The lashon haravzal, the Rambam, the Vaz was the Rav in Mitzrayim over there. Everything was like the Rambam. They paskined always like the Rambam. The Rambam was like, it was before the days of Shulchan Aruch, but the Rambam there was like the Shulchan Aruch. Whatever the Rambam said, they accepted the opinion of the Rambam. He said maybe the Ravzal in the Sefer HaMitzvahs, that's what made them mistaken to think you have to be machmer. V'zel Lasha, this is the language of the Rambam. V'da ki achosan atzmei muzim v'latz v'beitz v'schayla kol shnasei. The language of the Rambam Sefer HaMitzvahs seems to infer, you should know, the chosan himself was not allowed to go out even for business. So this is the Sefer HaMitzvahs of the Rambam. The Rambam has a Mishnah Torah, which you read before, but he has a Sefer HaMitzvahs, he explains the mitzvahs. When he explains this mitzvah, he says he can't go out for business. However, he says like this, shibashu. This is a mistake, Shenafa ben Asfarim. You have to understand that the Rambam only wrote one Sefer in Lashon Kodesh. That's his Mishnah Torah, is 14 Sfarim Mishnah Torah. All his other Sfarim. Arabic. His Sefer HaMitzvahs, his Pirush HaMashnayis, his Shuvas. The Rambam wrote responsa in Arabic. Like if a Poisik would write in English, he wrote in Arabic. All of his Sfarim were in Arabic. He wrote a Pirush Mishnayis. He wanted people to understand. It was the first art school. He wanted people to understand Mishnayis. So he wrote a commentary in the Mishnah.
He wrote in Arabic.
And he wrote in Arabic. Today we all learn it, but we learn it in Lashon Kodesh. It's translated back to we learn it in Lashon Kodesh. No, only say it's only Lashon Kodesh. Now, Afshem min ha-maitik b'Lashon Akum. It might take a sefer. The mistake could have happened in the Sefer HaMitzvahs. Either was from the one who translated it from the Arabic, or from the person. In those days, there was no printing. They were the one who was writing over the might take a sefer. The one who's writing, copying, copying down the sefer. Made a sefer. Our B'Lashon Akum Kasav. He's going to tell us what it means, and this is what it says in Arabic. He writes in Hebrew words what it says in Arabic. Can you read it?
It's a different Arabic.
It's a very old, it's an ancient Arabic.
It's Aramaic Arabic. Very tough to us.
V'hakavana, he explains based on the Arabic, the Chassan himself is cautioned not to leave his house. Not to go on the derech, on the way. It doesn't say business, he says. It just doesn't mean they shouldn't leave the lav. Remember, the Rambam did not mean shliyetzi basic kala shouldn't leave his house at all. Shliyetzi la derech keloim la tzarich yiram. He interprets the Rambam meant when he said derech shouldn't go on the road, meant not going on the road for purposes of the war. Al tzarich atzmi for his own purpose, because for his own benefit. Lama lo yetzi la arviach. He wants to earn money, and his wife's going to be happy that he's earning so much money. He If he doesn't have what to eat, there's nothing more depressing than that. So what's going to be the simchas ishtay? What's going to be the simchas ishtay over here? So that Zvas feels there's no reason to be machmir. The machmirim is probably were machmir based on a translation of the Arabic, which was mistaken, and therefore he doesn't feel it's important. However, lamaisa.
Today, nowadays, it will be like somebody going and get married and you're going to Japan for 2 weeks, 3 weeks for business.
Right?
You're allowed to do it or not?
Right? The Maisa is that later on, the Radvas said this in this door, but actually there is a Sefer HaChinuch, the third page, the Sefer HaChinuch of one of the Rishonim, who usually follows the Rambam Shita. He made an explanation on the mitzvahs, Chinuch. According to a lot of authorities, the one who author of the Sefer Chinuch was the Ra'ah, of Aaron Halevi, Aaron Halevi. He does understand that he's one of the Rishonim, and he does indeed understand, clearly writes, that there is a concept of Shonoh Rishonah, not only as opposed to army, but even as a person shouldn't go on trips. He should be staying home, and he shouldn't be going out.
Which is a jail, 1 year?
Jail to his wife. Now, well, listen, if he didn't have what to eat, it's an already extreme situation.
Right, that's the
But I'm
story,
saying in a regular situation, he's not supposed to go out.
He's going
We're
for
going to
business.
see. We're going to see
He's
soon.
going for business.
Mechila helps or not. But the Lechatchila, the mitzvah, includes not only not helping out the army, but includes not going out for other reasons. Mitzvah tough in the middle of the page. You see, it says mitzvah tough kuf pei aleph. In the middle of the page is the chinuch. Around it's an explanation of minchas chinuch. About 20 lines in the top of the page. It says mitzvah tough kuf pei aleph. Shenimna achasen. What's the basic Shonoh? A chasen should refrain from leaving his house for a year. Aleph shenimna achasen. Lots is the basic Shonoh. Kilomer leches masois rechoikim. He should not go out on far trips. The general can also not take him out forcefully. You can't take him out to war to do anything which is necessary for the war. To give food and food to the soldiers.
In the army language,
Well,
the one that
The Ma'aseh, the Chinuch says clearly shouldn't believe for anything else. Let's take a look at that's the mitzvah loisaseh, how he interprets the lo yetziv atzava, lo yaver l'chol davar. How does he interpret the mitzvah essay naki yila beisay? The next mitzvah taf kuf pei beis naki yila beis shana echas and it's savino. We are commanded she yismech achasen ishti shana echas. The chasen should be happy with his wife for 1 year. Kiloimer, this means to say, shali yisach, what's the year? Lots of milchama, and go out of the city to war. And not to anything else.
if he's taking house,
L'sheves ulasa, not for a number of days to go out, to leave her alone. Ela yeshivi mashana shleima miyoyim, and assume for a complete year from the day of the wedding, he has to stay there. So that's clearly the Chinuch did understand differently. The Chinuch did understand, and then usually he's based on the Rambam. But the Chinuch, at least the Chinuch himself, was one of the Rishonim, understands that Shonoh Rishonah not only mean not helping the war effort, you can't leave. Not like the Radvaz. Now, actually now a very nice shtickle, the Chinuch always explains, gives his own taimim as reasoning for the mitzvahs. Over here he also offers a very nice explanation. What's the concept of Shonoh Rishonah? Why is it so important? And he explains how it really builds a healthy marriage. And this is the best thing, is that the chassan stay next to the kala the whole year. We don't want him going around other places. It's not good. Mishar mitzvah, the reasons for the mitzvah, ki yekel baruch hu olam machshav lefanav liberes ha'olam b'cheftze shishyash b'riyas toivis ha'nildas nachan ha'keva. He wants that people should get married and they should have children. She's dav gu b'hechsha, and they should get married in a kosher way. Ki aznus te'evahu lefanav. Znus, adultery is disgusting before him. Halkein gazer leinu ha'ama shabachali, since Hashem chosen us. The Yisnik al Shema, we were called in His name. Shenei shivim isha miyichedes lanu. We should stay with the woman which is specified for us. Lahakim zera, to establish seed, shana shlema, for a full year. Me'esh shanasa oisa, for when he married her. Kedi lahargal atevim, he should become close to her naturally. Lahad bi karatzan etzla, he should feel close to her. Lahachnit siyura v'chol pala b'leiv, et sheyave etzel hateva, kol maise isha acheres v'lana derech zaras. Should be nature by him, his wife, and any other women should be by him like strange. Ki kol teva b'roi b'vuka sheyeh mashiyagovay. That nature is, people want their nature. Everyone wants to do what they're used to. Habit. Their nature, their habit. And he gets used, he likes what he's used to. So the best thing for him is that he should get used to his wife. Stay away from any other women. Let have good children. And Hashem will find chen in the world. Whoever it is, whether the woman's a basula, or she's a widower he's marrying, or yivama, chayib is there for 1 year, he has to stay home. Shakul and ruyin lekach, they're all roy for the same reason, l'fiyatam and isker. And the other, not someone who is returning back, someone who he was married to before, his divorcee, someone who divorced his wife, returns maxik l'shasei, he knows her already, so it's different. Now, continues on, Medina mitzvah, Mashamar Zal, Kol Shonoh Kol Yates, and L'cham Af L'Mask Mayim Mozen, Lachish L'cham L'Nesim Pasiv, L'Yavashon Davar, repeats over what he said in the previous one, Shem L'Yates, V'Tol L'Yav L'Chol Davar, Lo L'Tzarech HaMuchama, V'Lo L'Tzarech HaYir, V'Yesa Pratim Varim Pasha Shmini, Perek Shmini Misoita. V'Nehegis V'Tzubim Mizan Abayis, L'Inyan Shem B'nei Ha'ir, Machnichem Eisel L'Mato. Ki Oz Hayinu L'Chamim, L'Famim. L'Inyan Sheroi, L'Chol Adam, these days we don't officially go to war. So the concept of not going to war doesn't apply, but the concept of a person staying with his wife and making her happy for that year, neheges b'chol makim, b'chol zman, in whatever place and whatever time, it always applies. Someone who transgresses a pirush yimen atoich shana, he leaves in the middle of the year, lam is to leave for a number of days without her. Hafil mechilas, even with her, she's meichel. Bitul essay zu is mavatam its essay. Mikomakim still will harei to lots of the dvar mitzvah. If he wants to go out for a mitzvah, or to go out to be misamech with his friends, al dash yashal matam, he's going to come back in a few days. Besimcha min adoime she'im b'zeh bitul mitzvah. It would seem to me that this is not considered a mavatal the mitzvah. Some people say you should dafka do it with mechila. Even then, it should only be with mechila. Even with tzarich mitzvah, even if you're leaving for tzarich mitzvah, it's only with her mechila.
If he goes for a business, then he's taking her with him.
That's fine.
Oh, he's going with her. He's always with her.
It's okay.
For sure, it's good. Mm-hmm. That's the way how it works.
Honeymoon.
He has to take her with.
Yeah.
Go to Vegas.
Now, comes along the minchas chinuch. The Minchas Chinuch is very bothered by this whole thing. And this is similar like to the Radvaz. The Minchas Chinuch didn't mention the Radvaz. The Minchas Chinuch lived much later. He lived 100 years ago. Now, however, the Minchas Chinuch is bothered with this whole Sefer HaChinuch. What is he including in the mitzvah? You're not allowed to go out for business trips. Where does it say this anywhere? We don't look in the Rambam. We don't see this in the Torah anywhere. Where does this come from? So we have a lot of generations later, but we have the same Shaila. And the Minchas Chinuch is asking, it's on the right column. It's, where in the middle we said it says mitzvah tov kuf pei beis. On the right side of that mitzvah, there's a dot. It says gam hashakos of Rabbi Mechaber. There's a period. Gam hashakos of Rabbi Mechaber. See?
I think it's well known that Sefer HaChinuch, when he went into these Shonoh Rishonah, very often he was just philosophizing and explaining things of his own.
Fine, but he still includes in the mitzvah. That's what he says later on. But he actually includes in the mitzvah that he shouldn't leave even for business trips.
No, like, let's say, for instance,
Oh, the reason, that's his reason. It's not, he doesn't have a source for it. It's his own, he's giving his own time, what he
That's what you're
feels,
saying.
the reason why
He's agreeing with
you
you.
should say for Shonoh Rishonah. But he does include in the mitzvah, he does understand halachically that the mitzvah includes not leaving for business trips. So L'maiseh, he says like this, Gam ha'shekasar ha'mechaber da'asr. It's hard to read the words here, but to leave her zolasa b'Shonoh Rishonah, over b'esei. It's also to leave her during the Shonoh Rishonah. B'shas, in the Shas, or Rambam, the Rabbeinu Moshe, in a Muskuze. It's not mentioned. Rak l'mulchama tzarich, only not allowed to go to war or help out the city. V'zeh bo alav v'esei. Gamkin, Naki, Rabbeinu Gamkin b'ayis v'cherem, and she'ena sheim l'hatlav, zeh pashut l'mutlatzim b'ezim v'chakim Shonoh Rishonah. You're allowed to go travel. Pashut, he said, you're allowed to go travel during the year. What does he know that the chasen's aser? If the rabbi mechaber the chinuch learned this out from the pasuk of Simas Dishta, you can't learn out psukim on your own. We can't go open up a chumash and start making up our own halacha straight from the chumash. We have a Torah Shabbat Peh. Even though the mitzvah is a b'shas, we don't find this mentioned in Gemara anywhere. B'shumakim nowhere. We can't just start interpreting the pasuk on our own and saying psukim. We have a Torah Shabbat Peh. We know how to interpret the psukim. Rak Pirish Kabbalah's Chazal. You could just say only what Chazal were makabel. Okay, at this point, I haven't yet found such a thing in the Rambam. I don't recall any other posik saying such a thing. The Chas of Shonoh Rishonah liyam is lasi yamaram. Up until this point, it bothers me the words of the chinuch. So we have it that Advaz saying there's no reason to be machmir. The Gemara doesn't mention it, the Smag doesn't mention it, the Ram doesnn't mention it. And in Sefer HaMitzvahs, that does seem like you shouldn't go on a business trip. That's because the translation to Arabic was not done properly. It says it don't go on the trip, the derech. The derech doesn't mean for business, it means for the army purposes. But now we find here a Rishon who actually says it, the chinuch, and the Minchas Chinuch is right here over here on the side saying he's a pirush on the chinuch. He's like, I don't understand. Where's the source of this? So I have the same kasha. Where is the makar for this? Now, Maisa, I want to point out that the Chochmas Adam, the Chayi Adam, one of the big poskim, wrote a pirush. Chayi Adam is on Chaim and Chochmas Adam is on Yerdeya. And he brings this halacha l'maisa. He brings like the Sefer HaChinuch. Let's take a look. Chachmas Adam, he says, Hanoise Isha, Tzarech Lamed Be'irei Shana Tmima L'smoyechima. Someone who marries a woman needs to stay in the city for a complete year. Shem Aliyetz Vatzava Nokil Beise Shana Achas Simiches Ishtoi. He brings as a source Lakuti Pardes, which is a Sefer collection from Rashi. Rashi's Torah Psakim, V'chinuch, and the Sefer Chinuch that we just read. Because of the Chinuch writes, it's a machloikis whether or not it helps Mechila, Mehani Mechilasa, where she can be Meichel. Kol nearly, it seems to me the Isha Yecholimcha, that a woman could do Mechila. So the woman's Meichel, she can be Meichel. L'maisa, the Chachmas Adam Paskins is Halacha L'poyel. And the bottom he has Binas Adam, which is where he explains why he Paskin. So he writes in the bottom, Re'isi b'tshuvas ha'advaz. I see that the Radvaz writes in a tshuva, not like I wrote, Shekos v'shu tov, so this is a mistake. Dem came lama kosa Rambam shlietza b'tzava, how will the nichte rebusiyah? So why did Rambam just write you shouldn't go to war in his Mishnah Torah? He should have wrote even a bigger chiddush. You now even go out for business. Ma shekos b'ingen ha-mitzvahs, b'ingen ha-mitzvahs b'loises s'mishin aleph. This is the Radvaz explains, this is the Rambam wrote in the Sefer HaMitzvahs, el-shoyni daki echos natzim muzma latzim basis choyre kol Shonoh Cause of Shehu Toys Matikim. He writes that's a mistake. Says the Chatmasad the Mavadil Ra Shekain Hu Mafurish B'Kotei Paris. He did not see that it's brought down the name of Rashi, that this is a pshat, or with Sefer HaChinuch like we read. Shelohevi Devreim. He obviously didn't see because he doesn't quote them. The Radvaz. He doesn't quote these Rishonim. V'chein Mashav Minyan HaMitzvahs the Rambam. The Rambam has a Sefer HaMitzvahs, but he also has a Minyan. It's a list of all the mitzvahs. In the beginning of his Mishnah Torah, he has a Lashon Kodesh, he has a list of all the mitzvahs in short. He mentions them one after another. He mentions what it is and with the pasuk. He doesn't go into the whole reason and the background of it, like in Sefer Mitzvahs, but it's a one or two liner. Now, with here he says it is mashma that it's also for other issues. He should not go out of the city. He shouldn't go out to war. He should stay with her. Why does he write two lashonis? Don't go out to the city and don't go out to war. Seems from here, it's two separate things. Means don't go out for business. Means don't go out for the army. Why didn't the Rama write a clue in Mishnah Torah? Why does he write a Mishnah Torah for such a din? Hayos that the Rambam brings down at the ending of that halacha that whoever goes out to the army is over on two lavim, two loisa says, on leyetel tzava and leyavel holdover. In kei shleimer dev emes lotzes l'schoyre muzav alav, of a muzav be'esei misimich zishtei. It could be that these lavim don't apply. Maybe you cannot include not going out to business in the loyetel tzava, in the loisasa, but you can include it in the naki leves in the essay. Yes, the Rambam wants to discuss things that are even have a loisasa to them. Not going to business, lav dafki you over an essay if you go to business. It could be it's only included in the mitzvah's essay naki leves smichas ishtei. So the Rambam didn't mention it because it's not included in the loisasa. It's still no. You have a chiyav esef v'simchas ishtei. Amash hiksha arrived. It's a mistake. It's what we had advaz. Mak hiksha advaz. What advaz asked him came. Yishein biyad of sparnis. Someone who has no parnasa. Eichi kaimza. How's he going to fulfill this? Shayich lemid alad nemer la'ashavani. We can't say that the Torah only spoke to rich people. They shouldn't go out, but a poor person is allowed to go. Yishlemed devadim. Yishem achelos upater. For sure, if the woman is meichel, that she should, obviously if there's nothing to eat, the woman's going to be meichel, have to go out. Because she'tzinu be'in simcha v'zayim mishta, she yichol limcha. A woman could be meichel on a shivas yimei mishta. Hagam di yishlei b'dahasam and takanas chachamim. Even though over there it's only something from chachamim. So maybe you could say, but the woman could say, I don't want this takana, for me it's not a good takana. Shonoh Rishonah, it's min ha-Torah, after the mahani it's not going to help the mechila. So one concludes the bina sadam, the chat masadam, mechomah in mochrach. To me, it seems even if it's min ha-Torah, Hayos was made for her benefit. The Torah did it for her benefit, so she can be meichel. So lamaisa, just to cap it off. So we have over here that the side that advaz and side of minchas chinuch feel that there's no makor to say such a thing. What we read in our pas in this week's parsha, naki lebeisi minchas ishtem. We read in last week's parsha, le'etzel tzav le'yavol chodaver. It's only for war and helping the war front. Everything else is mutter. However, the Sefer HaChinuch held clearly that it doesn't include business trips, and the Chochmas Adam feels we should pass in that way. He found also that a Sefer which brings down Psakim of Rashi also said that, and he feels that the Rambam in his Minyan HaMitzvahs, when he writes the mitzvahs down, also says that way, and you have the Sefer HaMitzvahs. We don't have to go with like the Radvaz who wants to interpret it differently. Not going on the road means not going on trips. And therefore that's what he wants to pass in halacha l'maisa. So halacha l'maisa, the minig is that the oilam is careful with it. Unless they have her mechila, they don't go out. This is this week's passion.